switch the scene over. Gareth Hubball, good morning. I am doing good, so much better than what caused me to have to step away from Rust. So I am looking forward to coming back to it. And I hope you and everyone else is doing really good too. Miguel, good morning. All right, so this computer, I believe, has been rebuilt since we were dealing with Rust a long time ago. Because if I look at cargo, yeah, not found. So we need to get that installed. So let's go ahead, copy this in. All right, we'll proceed with the installation. So this could take a little bit of time, but I figured while everything installs and we get all it working, we can chat about what the plan is. Like, why am I doing Rust? Especially like, why am I not finishing that book? So I did the conference talk on Friday. In fact, that was live streamed. So if you haven't seen that, you want to see me struggle going through like 9 functions related to deep learning in a 45-minute time frame, then you could watch that. You could watch that live stream. All right, let's see. Rust is installed. I'll just go, well, let's actually test this. Cargo not found. Okay, full fine. So if I copy you, paste you, now you are found. So I need to I'm gonna go, hey, I'll do you over here. Vim are dot files. I have no idea if I have anything bad in these dot files. So that's why I'm hiding it. So adding in Rust. And now when I'm creating a new shell, cargo's there. Perfect. Okay. What would be next? I think we could do a head to the desktop and create a quick new. So I think it's new test. Okay, fine. Testing. CD into testing. Was it cargo run? Yeah, it is cargo run. And if I open code on this, it's going to ask me to install all the stuff too. So that will be the next step. Yeah, I saw that you were there, Miguel. I didn't get a chance to respond to any of your any of the comments during the video because it was just so hectic and live. Okay, you weren't there. Someone else that from the normal stream was there. Oh, it was Katali was there. And yeah, Katali, I think Starry and a couple other people, and they were supporting me, but I didn't get a chance to say hi too much because it was just like, just program. I mean, I wasn't able to finish them all, and a couple of them I forgot to do like the secondary loops, and so I only did like one layer of the matrix. But because I had like the functions already made beforehand, I just really quickly switched over to the master branch to copy those out. So those worked. And then the very end, the last 5 minutes, I switched over to play the game, and the neural network lost against the simple AI. So that's fun. All right, I want to open up main.rs. Oh, right, I need to install. I'm not sure I like these new icons that VS Code got. Okay, so recommended. Rust. Yes, we're going to install that. All these other ones are just JavaScript stuff, so no. RLS is not installed. Yes, install that. Okay, so this could also take a little bit of time. I've had trouble with this in the past. Okay, well, okay, never mind. Well, it's fast apparently. So if I do that, hit save, will you tell me that there's a problem? All right, no, you won't, because there's other things. So if I say another print line, hi there. Now will you tell me there's a problem? Yes. Does it have to be? Okay, no, it doesn't have to hit return. So we've got that working. So I can go ahead and not save this, close VS Code there. All right, I think we're ready to go with Rust. That was a lot faster of install than I remember last time. So that's a good sign. And what version? I think it's Rust C -- version 1.37.0. That is the latest version. So we have Rust up installed. That's the way we installed Rust today, and that's how we're going to keep it up to date in the future. Yeah, it just had to learn a bit more. Now, after that, I let it running so that people can like walk up to it and take a look at it, and it did win like 4 more times after that. It's just, of course, when it had to perform, that deep learning neural network did not work as we wanted it to. Okay, so what is the plan right now? So I am in the afternoons and so on. I'm building some projects which I'm hoping are going to sort of be tangential to the stream and sort of to my plans. And those are just going to be sort of simple web development projects. I don't know if I'm going to stream those. If I do, it's probably going to be like focus streams. So it's less of the learning streams that I do here in the morning. So those would probably like be in the afternoon. And those are the type that I would like just put on some music and not necessarily chat and interact. It's just me building stuff. In the morning, I want to keep this as sort of learning streams. This is where I'm going to be learning whatever stuff that maybe later on I use to like build an actual project. So with that in mind, and keeping what we just did with the deep learning in mind, I've decided to move on to the nature of code. And I'm not finishing the book that we did last time because I kind of got a little bit burnt out on that specific book, specifically that chapter 6. Yeesh. I might go back to it someday, but I also feel really bad because anybody who bought the book, because I had bought it, potentially also ran into those same problems that we had. So I chose this book because you can read it for free online. So if we go to natureofcode.com, you can purchase it, or you can just read online for free. I actually went ahead and purchased the book physically, so I have a copy. And I've read it a little bit online. I've actually done a few of these exercises in processing and in Lua Love 2D. But I only got through like less than a quarter of the book, I think, before I sort of like went off and did other things. And so I want to go through a lot more because if we take a look, we down here, evolution of code and neural networks. And this is going to lead back into our machine learning and deep learning. So that's kind of what's going to happen. And then down here in neural networks. And so that's what we're moving towards. One of the exercises way down here. Katali, good morning. Hello. One of these exercises is a rocket exercise. But of course, I'm not going to be able to find it right now because I'm looking for it. So we'll just have to find it the hard way. For those of you who know Daniel Schiffman, he is the, well, I guess like the streamer for the coding train. I have watched quite a few streams. I'm subscribed. I guess I'm subscribed and follow him on YouTube. And that's how I found this book a while ago. So if you wanted to follow along, it is free. You don't have to pay for that unless you choose to. All right. With that, what I'm going to do, like, all the exercises are done in processing, which is a Java-based language, which I am not going to be doing. Instead, I'm going to be only doing the 2D exercises because there are some three-dimensional ones here. I'm going to be using GGEZ. So, GGEZ. It is a game engine for Rust, and it is based upon the Love 2D framework. I have used this before in the past, so I'm kind of familiar with it. It's been a while. Love 2D framework had its origin in being a framework for Lua that was kind of sort of similar to processing. So sort of like coming full circle around there. Have I thinked on using OpenGL with Rust to do the projects? I haven't, to be honest. I'm hesitant to do that because I don't know if I want to like learn, well, I guess like truly learn multiple things at the same time. Rust, I'm not sure if this is like a full learn again because we have used it in the past. The nature of code stuff is a lot more like mathy. And so I think I want to keep it one at a time, but then maybe we can circle back around to OpenGL later to play with it. I do know, so a viewer who has come on before in the past, Danny Fritz, he has used OpenGL in the past to create a game. I don't remember how that went, but he might be able to help me out to sort of like get set up if I wanted to do that. I'm not going to right now. What I'm going to do is use this. So the first exercise, going through, it's random walker. So this is going to be the other interesting thing. The book really highly suggests using an object-oriented method of coding, which we are not going to do. Rust, as we know, is not object-oriented, although you can structure the code in an object-oriented way if you want to. We're going to be doing a little bit more of like sort of the natural functional style that Rust suggests. But we're going to be creating this first example, which is a random walker. So put a dot down, roll a dice, and then it moves in that direction randomly. And that's it. So let's get this up and running. So this will go into our cargo.toml file, which means I also need to create this. All right, what am I going to call this? I think nature of code in Rust. Oh, thank you, Katali. Yes, I totally forgot to link the project. Initialize it with README. Sure, why not? I don't know if I'm going to use the README, but I'll leave it there. Okay, so code builds. Let's do git clone this in here. And you can see into nature of code and Rust. Let's, I'm thinking we'll create a chapter 1. And then what is this first? This is example 1.1, traditional random walk. I always am not sure if I want to like create one and then update it constantly, or just like have different projects for each one. So I think I'm going to try that, have different projects. So we'll just do example 1.1, which is the traditional random walk. So we'll do cargo new traditional random walk. And cd into that. And we'll open up code here. And while that's opening up, let's run cargo run. Just to make sure it works. And our cargo.toml dependencies. This is where we put in this. So actually 051 is the latest. Let's use that. Actually, does that matter? If I only give it 0.5, like, where is that? Does it automatically use the latest like patch versions? I can't remember. I don't know if it matters. I'll use this one. I think it will grab the latest ones if necessary. So we'll just put that in here. Sure, restart. Close you down. We'll go into our main.rs. It uses the latest patch. Okay, so if I had used something like 0, then it would use like even if .6 came in, it would use that. Here's our hello world. Let's go ahead and get this example going here. So we'll eventually be switching over to using the library for this, but as I'm getting used to this, I'm going to start with everything in main for right now. All right, so what do we need? I guess we could just pull in stuff as we need it. So we need a context. Is this slightly different? I don't know if I remember the event loop being here, just the context. So we're creating a context. We're grabbing a tuple out of context builder. So we need that. I think it only gets the third number, so 0 would not work. Okay, so we need 2 numbers at least. All right, so use GGEZ, and we're going to get the context builder. All right, so in main, we're going to create our variables. So let, out of a tuple, I wonder if it's going to know what this is. Context builder, new. Our game ID, so what is this? This is going to be our traditional random walk. And our author, cool game author, yeah, absolutely. Berserker. And so off of this, we're going to run. So we're going to execute new, and then it's going to return a. I mean, I guess the closest thing to like compare it to would be an object, which then we can run the method build on, but it's not exactly true. Expect. So this is if it throws an error, we don't have to like do any. It will just crash the program. So problem getting GGEZ context. Okay, so then we need to pull out. Will you be able to tell this? So immutable context and a mute event loop. Stacking, good morning, welcome back. Am I dropping frames? OBS is not telling me I've dropped any frames today. I mean, the computer is very hot, so if it is dropping, it's not through OBS, it's through some other thing. I have gotten new internet since the last time you were on the stream stacking, so hopefully all those problems we had like in the morning of everyone in Denver getting up and then watching TV or something on the internet destroying our stream is gonna be over. I'm hoping. All right, so we create our context, then we need to set, we need to create a new game. And we hand it the new context, okay? So that we have mutable my game. I don't know if I should just call it like the game equals. So my game, where does this come from? We have a structure of my game. Oh, okay. So we're going to set state in here. So we do need to set that. This is an interesting question. I just always have a pattern of using like creating the state up above main. I don't know. What are your all? What is everybody else's thoughts? It is not Comcast, although that's one of the only two options that I have. So we'll struct. I guess like game. I guess we'll just struct game state. I don't really have a state yet to go in here. Looks like we do need an implement for this game. So we need to impl game. And so we need a public function new that we're going to run here and pass it the context. So public function new, we're going to get context. We're not going to do anything with the context right now, but its type is a reference to a mutable context. Do we need this mutable context? And that's going to return a game object or game. If I'm not going to say object, what do I say? I can't remember what like the official like the term for these. Just an instance? Is that all I would say? Some languages require them to be at the top. Well, I mean, theoretically not if the I would hope not, because the instructions here have them down below. I know that C is one that requires the functions to be at the top, but if you don't do that, then you need like the function, what is it called? The function, sort of like the template for it, the signature. And I think that's actually what caused me to always do my functions at the top forevermore, is just learning C a long time ago. And not really using it very much either, just that little bit of learning. Function definition, all right, yes, thank you. Let's see, so we have our public function new. I'm gonna turn my game, and so yeah, then we need to return a game like that. There's nothing in it, so it's completely empty for right now. We also need to implement an event handler. An event handler comes off of GGEZ event self. So event handler for game. What are we going to do here? So we're going to create a function update. Okay, so this is where we're going to have our update and draw functions. So function update. We're going to start. Interesting, it auto-completed this, but our mutable self is actually more important to have future. So we're going to get a mutable reference to self. We're going to get our context, which is type reference to mutable reference to context. And we're going to return a game result. Which one is that out of? Just GGEZ. Game result. Oh, I forgot to turn that on. There. Now you can do that. I dropped the E off of impulse. Did I? Oh, there. Got it. Thank you, Katali, for trying to do that and reminding me to turn on the bot and also stacking. Now you can actually highlight these. All right, so let mute game. Right, because the game result is an error type. So we need to pass in like what's coming in here, which is just we're returning nothing essentially. Or no, yeah, it's kind of like a tuple. Where is that? Game result, turbofish syntax, and then just emptiness. And I guess right now we're returning just okay. We also have a function draw. We're going to have a mutable, we're going to take our mutable reference to self. We're going to have our context, which is a mutable reference to context. And we're going to return game result. All right, so here is where we draw stuff. So it's suggesting that we clear out, like just clear everything out. Clear the screen. Otherwise, things would stay around. Do I have graphics? I don't. Where is that from? It's also from this. Graphics there. So we're going to get graphics. We're going to clear. We're going to pass it in the context. And graphics white. So I guess it's going to be what the background is. We can play with that. So graphics white. We're going to then draw the code, and then we're going to present the graphics. So graphics present, and then the context. And apparently we're going to return that because this returns a game result. And that's that. Oh no, you have a memory leak, 2 gigabytes of memory, and you're increasing by 4 megabytes a second. Ouch. What browser are you using that's doing that? I mean, maybe the new Firefox is better? Or it could be an extension. I've seen those do some crazy memory leaks. Chrome, yeah. I guess try maybe Firefox, especially because the theme is Rust and Firefox is being rewritten with Rust. So there is that. Let's go ahead and run this and see if it works. So we're going to do cargo run. We have to download and compile GGEZ. We only have to do the major of the compiling the first time. It's going to just compile whatever changed after this. Rust is indeed a Mozilla-backed project, yes. So a bunch of things have changed to Rust since we last did it. I haven't been keeping up with what was going on. Ooh, that's not a... Oh, also sys. I vaguely remember this. Right, there was something in here. There is the after installing, you have to do stuff. And I don't remember where that is. Building for every platform. Here it is. So project setup for Linux. We're in a Debian based, so we need to also install the Boo sound. Okay, so these three. Sudo apt. Well, I mean, I've got Chromium open. I do have Firefox open in the other window, and that's what I'm using to monitor the stream with. And at work, I've been using Chromium, Firefox, and Firefox developer mode. Oh, yeah, you're waiting for this. Yes, go ahead, install. I have gotten better experience out of Firefox developer mode and nightly usually. I think they have some better rendering engines on those builds. And Mozilla Chuck, who's one of the local, he was a developer. I think now he's just I think now he's a project manager at Mozilla, and he told me that the Mozilla developer mode is simply Mozilla like next, like the preview mode for the next version that's going to go out with some extra developer stuff added into it, and that's why it's usually a little bit faster. All right, so we have this. Let's now see if we can cargo run. We are able to compile that, so that's a good sign. I guess I do have a warning that just popped up on OBS saying encoder overloaded, which wants me to use either lower settings or a different, a faster encoder. I don't remember what I'm using on there. So let me know if the stream is working. Now there's some frames dropping. I'm guessing that must be the encoder being overloaded rather than the frames dropping, because it's still not recording the frames being dropped. But the encoder is overloaded. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Or stop using a 4K display and then crunch that all up into 1080p, which I suspect is the real problem. Video almost froze. Ooh. I don't know what options I even have. Oh, I see what the problem is. OBS is like pretty much frozen and not happy. So I may have to. How's the audio? Is the audio okay? That sounds like a no. How is the audio stop sometimes? Okay, so I did have a stream PC and it's like sitting unused over there. I just need to figure out the cabling situation for this desk to use it again. But I think that's gonna be what we need to do, is get that set up again. Also, I'm in a completely different room than I was before. Then returns, then goes away. Okay, so it's not the best. Expected expression found this main RS line 31. 31. Really? I just stopped in the middle of this and then thought that was cool. All right. Also, RLS, you didn't help me. What was I supposed to be doing that I just like forgot to finish? All right, so let mute. So get a mutable game out of my, oh, okay, so that out. I did all these things first, then I just forgot to come back to it. I hope that the stream is sort of returned back to goodness now that, yeah, the encoder is not saying it's overwhelmed anymore. So I think it's, while I'm compiling, it's using too much CPU and it's having trouble encoding at the same time. Probably while I'm programming, it's gonna be fine. It's just the running of the code, which of course RLS is doing behind the scenes. That's, we may have some trouble. I think I'm gonna have to set up that other computer. All right, so we're gonna create a new game. Gonna run the new function on it, and we're going to hand it a mutable version of context, and then we're going to run. So we're going to run the run function off of event. We're going to hand it a mutable reference to context, a mutable reference to the event loop, and a mutable reference to the game. And then we're basically just going to be matching here. If we got an OK, then we're just going to print line exited cleanly, and then otherwise the error, and then print that out. Don't go crazy on the thread spinning. I'm going to try not to. But that doesn't mean that, well, I guess like Rust does install on different threads, doesn't it? So that I think that's the other problem. Maybe now that everything's compiled, then it will be a lot better because it's only got to compile my code and not also everything else in the world too. All right, so let's match on this. So we're going to match on running the, where does event come from? This. Does that really pull it in? I don't think it does. It's not auto-completing for me. I think I need to pull it in here. And then I can do this. So event. We're going to run. We're going to hand it a reference to a mutable context. We're going to hand it a reference to the mutable event loop. Oh, you missed the spinning Rust logo? Yeah, I don't have it on this computer. Like I never really deployed that, so I need to remake that or find where I put that. Because oh, you know what? It's in the other computer. That's where it is. To mutable event loop. And a reference to the mutable game. And so now we're gonna do the different match arms. So we're either going to get an OK. If we do get an OK, we're just gonna take whatever that is, ignore it. And we're gonna run print line. And then tell it that we exited cleanly. Oh, yeah, it was on GitHub, wasn't it? I was smart in that way. All right, so we're also gonna handle our error, and we're gonna get an error. And then we're going to print line error occurred. Error running game. And then we're going to have our error injected into that print line there. And let's try that. Yeah, I have to just go remember what the repository was, then grab it again. One of the things that I want to do is create an actual like dedicated streaming PC and just like leave that up here as a desktop, and that would be so easier than like having two notebooks hanging around, because I've just got two old notebooks that I'm using to stream, which is not the best, especially when I'm trying to do these more intensive programming languages. All right, so we've got this game going here. We need to figure out how to put a circle on, or like a dot. So that's next. Super simple. Does that put on a circle or something? Yes, it does. Okay. Circle equals graphics mesh new circle. Graphics present, graphics draw. I don't think I need a mesh. I think I can use just like, I think there is a super simple circle. Just build a cute little 3L SSSFF PC. Well, one thing that I would also like it to do is I want to try building one that could also handle VR. If nothing more, so I can play some VR games. The company I'm working at right now actually does VR development, so it's kind of fun to like watch all those things. And now I want to try some at home. So super simple. This is drawing. Can I just do like a circle? A collection of semi-random shape and image drawing examples. Is this the new way of doing it? Is build mesh? Function build mesh. Interesting. Okay, so for some, I thought I remembered a long time ago that GGEZ worked really well with just had like sort of a circle type method off of it that I could call. But let's go to crates, back to you, and go to the actual documentation. I think it's under the graphics structure. Okay, so mesh is 2D polygon mesh. Okay, so here we have a rect, which is a simple 2D rectangle. Wait, you don't have the circle? Or ellipse? I'm surprised it has a simple 2D rectangle and not a simple 2D circle or ellipse. Am I missing that? All right, well, let's put a rectangle on the screen then. So we're gonna get the location and size of the rectangle. So what is this off? This is GGEZ GraphicsRect. And I think this is going to be under draw. So after we clear it, then we want to do graphics. So we're going to do a rect, super simple to rectangle. Was it under drawable? Where was drawable? All right, draw mode, I remember that, and the fill. Draw the given drawable object to the screen by calling its draw method. In your BR code GG, it was under graphics. Yeah, I remember that. I'm just not seeing it here anymore. And I wonder, that was a while ago. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted, if we go back like, I don't know, a few versions. And we go to graphics. Oh, we might have gone back too far. Let's go to like 4.4. I don't remember what version we were using off the top of my head. Where is the graphics? Dependencies, documentation, creates usage, graphics. Okay, yeah, I don't see it here either. So it might still be there. That's a good point. How do I go back to the latest? Go to the latest version. Okay, so let's try that. Graphics circle. I don't know what I put in here anymore. GZ 04.4. Okay, I want to use the latest stuff though. I don't want to use older, like the older code. All right, what are we doing? We're going to graphics. We can use a rect. I'm okay with that for right now. And then later on, we'll create the graphics. So I want an example, which we don't have. So fields, rect, implement rect. We have to create a new rectangle and we pass it in this, and they're going to pass in, then we're going to run the draw function, aren't we? Okay, so let rectangle equals graphics rect, and then it's just going to be the x, the y, the width, and the height. So the location, so if we just say something like 10.0, 10.0, so 10 right, 10 down, then like 50.0 and 50.0. What does it return? Well, if I don't handle it, if there's an error and I don't handle it, it'll yell at me. And then do I need to do a rectangle dot draw? No, so I do need to use the struct mesh. I think like that. The graphic module provides the actual drawing of images. What are you unhappy about? Did you mean GraphicsRect? Oh, fields, yes. I did mean that. Okay, save you. Now what? Right, I need to give it the field. So this is like X. This is Y. This is width. And this is height. No method. Is it colon colon? Failed to resolve use of undeclared type or module. Rectangle, right. Oh, it can't figure it out. Oh, I figured it would understand what that was. That was a type rect. I think we do need to use those mesh, don't we? All right, we'll do what everybody else was saying. Let's find. Is it mesh or is it mesh builder? All of its creation methods are just shortcuts for doing the same operation via a mesh builder. So we get mesh, and then we have new line, new circle. So that sounds good. Creates a new mesh for a circle, ellipse, polyline, new rectangle. All right, so that's if you pass none, it will use a pure white texture. All right, so we'll do struct mesh, we'll do new circle. So move you right. We need graphics mesh. So let's try this again. So my circle equals graphics mesh new circle. All right, so okay, here we're gonna pass the context. It needs a reference to the mutable context, so I think this is also a context. The mode is the draw mode. Where did we get that from? That's I know that's a an enum. What is it? Is it on graphics? Draw mode. It is draw mode. Fill. A point. Okay, so we need a location for this point first. So if I have something like, let's just put this right here. Let location equals, we need a point. Is that in here? Point. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Unresolved, oh, no point in a root, yes. Where does that come from? Yep. We need a point. I mean, I don't need a Rex point. Code point, font. I don't need any of those. I need a type point. Does this actually have the type P? No. Where into point 2, where did you grab that? When I search, it doesn't need exact capitalizations, right? And would it be graphics? I don't see that there either. Let's try. Okay, so point. Yeah, it's the same thing here. Return types? No. Where do I get a point type? I vaguely remember that there was a point before. Did that get removed? All right, in circle, let's go take a look at the source. Point is P for new circle P, where P is a mint 0.2 F32. Interesting. So I remember that they're using like another library as point, because we had to, like, when we were building the game, we had to like rebuild them. But I'm just surprised it's not telling us where we're getting them from. Also mint 0.2. I'm not seeing anything there. All right, let's try. Yeah, I don't remember the name either. I mean, obviously we could go look at the old code and take a look at what it was. It seemed to be a pretty good one. If I get a point, I need a point with a capital P. So it's not off of GGEZ. Is it off of graphics? So graphics, 0.2, here it is. 0.2, new. And I think this is just gonna be like the X and the Y, right? So if I just do like 10.0 and 10.0, that's gonna get me a new point, which I'm gonna name location. I'm then gonna hand that point to here as the location. The radius, let's have this be like 50.0. Tolerance, I'm not sure what that is. And color. Do we have to create a new color? An RGBA color in, okay, so I can just create a new color. And the F range is 0 to 1. So this is going to be graphics, color, new. If I just say like 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, this should be black then, right? .2 is private. Okay. .2 is private. That's why there's no documentation for it. So how do I get a location or a vector? I don't see anything here about how to get the location of that. There was those examples. Let's go take a look at those again. Okay, so let circle equals graphics mesh new circle. We're going to hand it the context. Oh, apparently it doesn't need to be mutable reference. It already is a mutable reference to context. We don't need to like declare it again. Otherwise, then it'll be a mutable reference to mutable reference context, and that would be weird. Graphics draw mode fill. We have that. Oh, it needs to be. It's a function, not an enum. NA .2. NA algebra. So they're not rewrapping it. Right, and I think NA algebra was, or N algebra? NA is a linear algebra library. What's the N stand for? Could use mint also. Interesting. Okay, so that would be nice to know. That's so GGEZ, we need the N algebra. There it is. So this is going to be the N algebra .2. New. Okay, so we get that as the location. This doesn't need to be immutable context. We already got that as a mutable reference to the context. Fill apparently is a function. You're still unhappy. What did I do wrong? Fill with a lowercase f. So graphics draw mode fill. Numerical algebra. Yeah, that works. Can't I use mint .2? I probably can do both. Yeah. Let's see. Is there a big difference? I'm now curious. Are they doing both? Let's see where I want to. Oh, this is all of it, isn't it? Okay. Mint. It would just be GGEZ mint, right? They don't have it there. Where's all the dependencies? So they have mint and N algebra. Here's the .2. Fields an X and a Y. All right, so yeah, we could do that too. Let's try mint. Location is going to be mint. I think it's going to be pretty much exactly the same. or apparently not. Oh, no new. So it's going to be x is like 10.0 and y is 10.0. Something like that. Okay, so draw mode fill, pass it a location, pass it the size, whatever that was, graphics color new, you're not, oh, it needs to have the alpha. Okay, circle, and then do I have to have a circle draw? Or is it going to be a dot draw? No method name draw. Okay, let's go take a look at this more. So draw, we're going to draw the circle, graphics draw, context, reference to circle. So we're going to create the circle, graphics draw, pass it the circle, pass it the context, pass it a reference to the circle. Then pass it a new point. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if this is like a translation. And that's why we're putting the circle up in the top left. And then this is making it down to be closer to position X. Yeah, I don't know where that's putting it. Let's do graphics draw. All right, so we have our context, our drawable, our drawable is going to be a reference to the circle, and our params t. So that's these. What if we don't have any params t? Oh, and then also for this circle where we create a new mesh, we need to question mark this to handle the error. And expect would also work, I believe. I don't know if I want to, like, what that is. Let's back to the documentation. So drawable. So graphics draw. Oh, I'm in Mint. Draws a given drawable object to the screen by calling its draw method. Okay. What is you? What is you? Oh, not into, that just converts a draw parameter. This struct implements the default trait. So to set only some parameters, you can just do graphics draw drop param default dest my dest, with my dest being a new point. Okay, so I guess I feel a little bit confused here because I'm giving a circle a location, and now I'm giving where I'm drawing it a location. How is that not going to be exactly the same? Or do I now have two sources of truth potentially? If I give it the exact same location, would that be fine? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking, stacking. What if I leave this off? Draw param default. So this is graphics draw param default. Because if I leave you off, obviously you're not going to work because this is not a language that can overload. So this is going to be a graphics draw param default. And then we're going to question mark. Also, I believe, okay, so we've set the color. It should be all black. Let's just try this, see what happens. Potentially dropping some frames when I'm doing this. We'll see. I'm looking at OBS to see if that causes the encoder to go crazy. So I see a white screen, but nothing there yet. All right, so it didn't like that. I don't see it like hanging near the edges either. So that didn't like it. Our location is, we're trying to set X and Y to be equals to 10. Now, all the examples we're using, all the examples. This example was using the algebra, numerical algebra. Interesting. So self dot position X, that's off of here. Is that like an offset? All right, let's try this. In graphics draw, instead of doing whatever the defaults those were, this apparently is a tuple that's just another point. What's the comma mean? I'm also confused by the comma. All right, so instead of this draw param default, we're going to use another mint. Mint point to X, like, I don't know, 100.0, Y 100.0, comma, wait, oh right, and this was wrapped in parentheses. So we're handing it a tuple. Unnecessary parentheses around function argument. Okay. So circle. Oh, interesting. Okay, so then the comma would be here. Okay. We'll save and try this. All right, so still not seeing anything show up here. What if I make this really... Let's try exactly what they did. So instead of mint, we'll use the N algebra. And I'll replace all these mints. I guess I have to do more than just replace these. These are going to be N algebra, 0.2 new. So this will be like 10.0, 10.0. Here's the N algebra, 0.2 new. No. You become parentheses. Whoa. Undo. I've been doing multiple. All right, didn't want to do multiple things there. So your parentheses, you're like 100.0. Your parentheses, save. Where is that? Did they have the turbofish syntax also? I don't see it. Okay, so the N algebra 0.2 is still unhappy here. Oh, right, new. Okay. Let's try it again. Still nothing there. So you're mentioning the turbofish syntax. Or are you just mentioning that as like an any inside, like what we're doing here? And then if we're doing this as new with 0.0, I don't think this is going to make a difference, because even if it was offset by that amount, it's not like it would, not like that should make it disappear from the, yeah, it should not be here. Is the color wrong? Should I do like it's like make this all red? Also, is this the wrong one? If I do 5, like halfway. Hey, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that, it's rotated. All right. We've got something going on here. So why are we rotated? Actually, wait, isn't this a circle? This is a circle. Why is that not a? Yeah, exactly. This is totally fine. Everything is all right. What is happening here? Okay, so our location is 0. Just out of curiosity, if I make this like an extra, I don't know, 250 on the X for this location, is that going to make it shift more over to the right, meaning that I have two sources of truth that they're adding on each other? Or is it just not going to do anything at all? It did. Okay. So I am not exactly super happy with that. It sounds to me like it wants us to put these all in essentially 0, and then in here we draw where it's going to go. And essentially we're translating it. Okay, that's besides the point. Coming down here. So new circle, context, draw mode, fill. If I make you 0.0, oh, that was a crash. Trying to build a mesh with less than 3 vertices. Okay, so it definitely does not like that. Wait, if I do want to do 50, and then does you need to be 52? Man, I'm gonna have to relearn GGEZ all over again, apparently. No? Okay, so that's still a not circle. Let's take a look at our documentation. I'm running up on my end of time here. This is a new circle, context, draw mode, fill. We have a point. We have a 0. We have a 100 and 2.0. I need to see the new circle again. Its radius, which is that we had, and the tolerance is 2.0. The heck does tolerance mean? Is tolerance like a mathematical term that I am not familiar with? I mean, you might be right. That might be exactly what it is. So if we set these to 0 again, so that will be an upper left of wherever like the circle is aware of, and then we're going to just put the circle in its appropriate spot when we draw it here. What's interesting is that we're going to create so new circle, context, drama fill. This becomes a 2.0. How tolerant we are that it's not a circle. I see what you did there, and I approve. Okay, we're getting more circular. if we make this a 1.0, what do we get? We get even more circular. Wasn't I doing 0.0? I thought I was doing 0.0 at one point in time. I am gonna have to leave it at that, but at least we kind of got something kind of circular going there. We need, oh, there's a lot of crap in here. Okay, so cargo lock, that's fine. Our source is fine. Our target is not. So we need, okay, so in here, let's touch a dot and get ignore. All right, so we want, I think it does this style. Oh. Hey. My Vim froze. I can't stop. Insert mode. Oh, you suck. Okay, so if that's not working, how about you? We'll try this again. CD code, builds, CD, what was this? Nature of code in Rust. Here's that get ignore swap. Let's just go ahead and remove dot get ignore dot swap. Okay, so this is target. So write that out, and then if I get status, if I want to CD into chapter 1, get status, untracked files. I don't know if I want. Okay, good. So it's only these 4. That's perfect. So now we'll, our message is creating a circle-like thing onto the screen. Because it's not really a circle yet. We'll have to figure that out later. Nature of code in Rust. Here is, oh, it's still uploading. I'll go ahead and send where this is going to go out to all of you. My computer is very unhappy with me. It's a little bit slow. So I think definitely switching over and using a second computer with a capture card is going to be the way to go with this. Until then, I think I have to just sort of leave this stream, sort of like end the stream, and then this will hopefully finish uploading soon. Wait. Why are you upset? Escape. Are you still trying to send? All right, I'll figure this out at a later time. Ugh. No. Yes, I'll figure this out. In fact, can I just get push from here? Oh, it's an HTTP. How did I get that? All right, well, I will definitely figure that out probably later today because I've got to head off to work. So with that, thank you everybody for watching. I'm planning on continuing these on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings before I head to work. So that's 6:45 a.m. Mountain Time. That's gonna be it. We're gonna be working through the book Nature of Code once we figure out how to put circles and things onto the screen, and that's that. All right. With that, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day or night or whenever it is. Bye.